Kaivani Durai Raju. I have qualified my UGC JRF in my very first attempt in November 2020 sessions. Is this voice fluctuations there for everybody? Please put in the chat box. Okay, please check from your side, dear, whosoever is having the problem. Is it better now? Is it better for you? I hope it's better for you. Yes, great. Okay, sure. So, as I told, Hanshika, please change to the next slide. Yeah, great. So, as I told you, these are the things that we'll be sharing today with you. Next slide, please, Hanshika. Okay. Now, let us start from the very basics. What is this UGC Net Exam? So, you might know UGC is nothing but University Grants Commission. Till 2018, this exam was conducted by UGC, but from 2018, it is being handled by NTA, that is National Testing Agency. This exam is conducted for finding out who is eligible, okay? Who is eligible to become an assistant professor and who is eligible to withdraw junior research fellowship from government, from UGC, okay? So in order to decide this particular exam is conducted. This exam is conducted twice in every year, okay? Once it happens in the month of June or July, and other session it happens in the month of December, okay? Now, the highlight of this particular exam is that you get a very good stipend. If you qualify for JRF, you get a very, very good stipend. The details will be shared in the next slide. Can we go to the next slide, Hanshika? Yes. So there are two cadres in UGC Net exam. If you see, इसमें दो cadres होते हैं. एक है UGC Net and the other one is UGC JRF. Okay. So the calculation is that here there is no absolute marking. मतलब the marks are not calculated according to percentage, but it is calculated as per percentile. So for example, this exam, as you know, this exam will happen for 300 marks. Okay. So in our exam, let us take home science. In our subject, maybe there are 20,000 people who are writing our exam in one time. Okay. So among those 20,000 people, those people who take the top 0.5% of the place, the percentile of the place, for them, they get JRF. Okay. Which means simple calculations, if I have to give you, out of 200 people, 1 person will get selected for JRF. But the top 6 percentile, they get selected for NET. Okay. So when you get UGC JRF, it automatically means that you have qualified UGC NET and UGC JRF. And UGC JRF, this stipend, it is given so that you can do your PhD in peace. Okay. You don't have to worry about financial constraints. You don't have to worry for the 5 years what I'll do. You don't have to worry about all these things because you get a very good stipend from University Grants Commission. Now, if you qualify only UGC NET, what do you get? So basically, once you qualify UGC NET, you become eligible to become an assistant professor. Okay? It doesn't mean that you're paka going to get a job, but it does mean that when you go apply in a university or a college, wherever you want to apply, when you apply for a job, if you have this UGC NET qualification, you are given better preference. Technically speaking, people who have qualified UGC NET only should be taken as assistant professors. But then, because since the number of people who have qualified UGC NET is very less, there are a few colleges and universities who still don't follow these norms. But it is, it is mandatory that people should have qualified UGC NET, okay, in order to become an assistant professor. Or else they should have done their PhD. But if you have both, then the value that your resume will have will be very, very good. Now, let us assume that ki aapko UGC JRF mil gaya. You have got UGC JRF. So, what are the perks? What is the stipend that you will get? So, the stipend is given for a period of 5 years. From the date of whenever you qualify, it is given for 5 years. So, for the first 3 years, you will be given JRF. You will be considered a JRF, matlab Junior Research Fellow. Okay. So, for this Junior Research Fellow, on a monthly basis, you get around 31,000 rupees. And will be getting something called as HRA. HRA is nothing but home rent allowance or house rent allowance. Okay. So what is this? Along with this 31,000 rupee, is it better now, Tanu? Please wear earphones and try to keep the volume full. I have connected in 3 devices at the same time, so this problem will be there. Great. So as I was telling you, for the first 3 years, you will get on a monthly basis 31,000 rupee. Along with that, depending upon कौन city में आप रहते हो, depending upon where you live, you get this HRA. Say for example, you live in a first tier city, okay? First tier city in the sense like Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata, like that in the capital cities if you live, or in Bangalore, somewhere cities like that if you live, you are considered to be in a tier 1 city, okay? Which means you will get 24% of HRA. 24% of 31,000, which is 7,440 rupees. Meaning you can withdraw this much money so that you can stay in a good place. Okay, along with the 31,000. And along with this thing, on a yearly basis, you get around 10,000 rupee as a contingency fund for the first 3 years. Okay, 31,000 per month plus this HRA, and on a yearly basis, you get this 10,000. Whereas for the next 2 years, if you see, you will get 35,000 rupee for every month. This is given on a every month basis, a stipend. Then along with that, every month you get HRA also, whereas the contingency is increased to 20,000. Alright, so all these things you will get only if you qualify for UGC JRF. For UGC Net, there is no specific stipend details which is given by University Grants Commission, but there are a few universities and there are a few colleges which give you University Research Fellowship if you are a person who has qualified Net. Okay, but according to UGC norms, you don't get any specific fixed stipend if you get UGC Net. But there are a few universities which give a good stipend if you are doing PhD and you have already qualified UGC Net. Okay, I think this point is clear. Key the 0.5% only gets JRF. Remaining from top 6 percentile they get Net. Okay, the remaining 94% of the people, they don't qualify UGC Net, and this is the reason why it is one of the toughest exams in Indian higher education system. Okay, not just in this rule applies for all the subjects. It is UGC Net में total 81 subjects है, so all these 81 subjects the same rule is followed. Okay, Hanshika dear, next slide please. Okay, now coming to the exam pattern, there are a total of 300 questions. Okay, this 300 questions, they are divided into 2 papers. There is paper 1 and then there is paper 2. Now in paper 1, it is general, means for all the 81 subjects of UGC Net exam, the syllabus is the same for paper 1. In paper 1, there are a total of 10 units like teaching aptitude, research aptitude. There's topic on people and environment, higher education. There is Indian logic. Like this, there are 10 different units, which is common for all, the subjects. So from first paper, you get 50 questions, and each question carries 2 marks. Okay, so first paper is for total of 100 marks. Whereas if you go for paper 2 is the subject specific paper. If you are doing UGC Net in psychology, your paper 2 will contain only psychology related questions. So for us, paper 2 is going to contain only home science related questions. Okay. Now, in home science related questions, I'll be sharing about the syllabus also with you people. So there are again here also 10 units are there. From these 10 units, I'll tell you, yes, from all these 10 units, you will get questions. Okay. It is not necessary that each and every unit should have 10 questions. It is possible that from few important topics, you get 15 questions also, a few times 17 questions also, but all the questions will come from these subjects only, from these 10 units only. Okay. Yeah. So, this is about the exam pattern. And unlike a few other exams, there is no negative marking. In UGC Net, there's not even a single negative marking that you get, which makes it kind of easy to attempt compared to other nets like CSIR Net or ICAR Net. They have negative marking, but we do not have. And all the questions are objective type questions. Okay, there is no subjective type. You don't have to sit and write anything. It is just objective type question, and all are MCQs only. Okay, and it's not taken on a paper now. It has completely transformed into CBT mode, that is computer based test. Great. So you will go inside the center. The test will be happening on a laptop or a desktop only. You just click the options and you come. You don't write anything. Okay. Great. Can you go to the next slide, please? Okay. I'll just give you a little bit of introduction about LCI, since we are the ones who are giving you details for the session today. Little bit of basics I'll give. So here you're seeing our CEO, our founder of Let's Conquer It. As of now, he is not in India, he's in Canada. He's doing his studies over there. He is a UGC Net qualified fellow, and he has, you can see a lot. Yeah, both. MCQ are given in both paper 1 and paper 2, Anita. Yeah, both paper 1, paper 2, from those subjects you get MCQ, but inside the MCQ there can be different forms, like match the following can come, collective type questions can come, assertion and reason can come, true or false can come, like that, okay? So our founder, Mr. Ankit Chaudhary, UGC Net qualified. He has written multiple research publications. All right. So please go through our content. If I start speaking, I'll not be able to complete all the things that he has done. Okay. Next slide, please. Yeah. And one more very important thing is that if you are someone who has already attempted UGC Net once or twice, and if you have started to study from someone, you might have understood this thing that there is only one faculty who sits and teaches all the 10 units, which we at LCA do not believe is the proper way. Because see, home science consists of so many vast fields. Textiles, apparels, human development, extension education, communication, like this, they are very vast fields. And we do not believe that a single educator can handle all the 10 subjects. Okay, even if you see in big virtual platforms, I don't want to name them, but if you see in those also, it's just one teacher who handles everything. It's not possible. So in LCA, what we do is that for each and every subject, we have a special mentor. Meaning, for example, I am also an educator in Let's Conquer It. So since I'm doing my PhD in food science and nutrition, I'll be handling only nutrition and dietetics topic. If you take Ankit sir, he also handles one unit for you. He handles unit number 1, which is in food science and food service management. Okay, so he'll not touch any other subject, because we believe that subject expertise is very much needed in order to teach and make you qualify NET or GRF, whichever you do. Okay, I'll just give a basic introduction of our team. Ms. Rupan Mariam George, she has qualified GRF again in her very first attempt. She'll be teaching research statistics, and she is the technical head of LCI. Then myself, Kalevani Raju, I'm also qualified UGC GRF. Again, first attempt, and I handle only nutrition dietetics. Then you have Keshav sir, he is also a GRF, and he handles communication and extension. Vitasta ma'am, she is an SRF, ICAR SRF, she is qualified UGC Net also. She'll be handling only human development. If you see Tanu ma'am, she is also Net qualified, she handles family studies. Then Prachi ma'am, she is also a JRF, Net qualified, and this time she has qualified JRF also. Congrats to her. And she handles textiles and apparel for you. If you take Dipashri ma'am, she has also qualified UGC Net, and she handles resource management. Okay, next slide please. So the thing what I'm trying to say is that please, even if you don't want to study from a paid source, try to reach out to people who are specific, who are very good in their fields. All right. Do not believe on someone who teaches you all the subjects, because it is definitely not possible to master all the subjects of home science. Now, coming to our paper 2 syllabus. Now, there is one very big mistake that students do while preparing for this NET exam, is that what they do, they take the syllabus, they take a printout of the syllabus, they sit and try to complete the whole syllabus. If you ask me, that is one thing that you should not do if you want to qualify this exam. Because home science being a very vast subject, the syllabus of UGC Net is also very, very vast. I don't know how many people of you have noticed that, but it's very vast. Like, it's not possible for you to complete the whole syllabus which is there in a period, even if it is 2 years, you cannot complete the whole syllabus. And the highlight is that you don't need it also. You don't have to complete the whole syllabus. Okay. Now, and one more problem is also there, that, say for example, if you have done your MSc in resource management, okay, maybe there is someone who has done their MSc in maybe human development. So, other than your single subject, you will not have an idea of all the other 9 units. Okay. Please don't unmute yourself, people. Yeah. So you'll not have that much of an idea if you're not from that field. So you have to start from the basics. So people think, it is very difficult. How will I do? How will I cover from basics? This is one big worry that they do, and they try to complete the syllabus. They lose their interest in the second or third unit, which makes them think that it is so impossible. What will I do? Yes, but please listen to this. This is one thing that many educators do not tell you, because it is kind of bad for their business, we'll keep the questions to the end, dear. Please, if you have any questions, keep it to yourself. I'll open the meet for question and answers. That time I'll address you, okay? Yeah. So what you have to do is that from 2004 or from 2012, if you take the question papers and see now, there are a few topics which are keep on repeating. You see that, say for example, if you take nutrition and dietetics topic, you see that the deficiency disorders, vitamin and mineral deficiency disorders, and the years in which public health programs started, about malnutrition, about Poshan Abhiyan, and also about lactation, breastfeeding. These few topics, they get repeated like anything, like at least once they come in every year. What you have to do is that you have to identify. I'm not telling that you have to come join us and then only we'll tell you. I'm giving you the details. So in any unit, you have to identify, this is the topic that comes again and again and again. Okay. So when you see topics like that and keep a note of them, you will get at least 100 to 120 topics that come again and again. What you have to do while you're preparing for this exam, what you have to do is that जो topics फिर बार आते हैं ना, which come again and again and again, just read them thoroughly. Okay? Do not try to complete the syllabus. Just read those topics thoroughly. Okay? I can give you a very good example in that also. If you take apparel design and textiles, it is very vast. Okay? First thing, it is very vast. But there are a few topics. Say, I can give you an example of. Okay. Okay, I'll tell you in nutrition itself. There is this topic called which is based on. It's not coming to my mind.
In textiles, types of fibers.
Yeah. So, like if you take these kind of topics, like types of fibers, parts of the sewing machine, or different types of dyes, they keep on repeating. But there are a few topics which never come. Ma'am, can you give some example, Prachi ma'am, of something that never comes till now? Has not at all come.
There's a syllabus like eco-friendly environment, related to the environment friendly dyes or bend dyes. This topic has never come before, or I don't think कि exam में next time भी आएगा. So there are few topics, these are repeated again and again, like types of fibers, examples of their properties, and in apparel design, types of figures, swing machines. So these are repetitive topics.
Yes, that's right. So what I'm trying to say at the end is that if you're studying by yourself, well and good, not a problem. Just try to identify those topics and try to focus on them only. Okay, don't waste your time in studying all the remaining topics which are anyway not going to come for you. And can we go to the next slide, Hansika, please? Yeah, this is just a comparison for you to understand how much competition is there. Okay, so just compare yourself in 2019, how many people have qualified JRF and with what cutoff, and in 2020, how much people have qualified JRF. You can see that the cutoff has exponentially increased. It was just 68% for general category, whereas if you take for underserved in 2020, it was 70.67, which was a 2.5% increase in the marks. Okay, and the numbers, if you see, the numbers have gone down. The number of people who have qualified has gone down, but the cutoff has gone up. If you check in this session, that is June-December 2021 session also, you see that we expected that since the question paper was very difficult, we expected that the cutoff will go at least 4 or 5 marks below, but then it did not. It just went down 1.5% for general category. Okay, which means that year after year, people are becoming more and more and more aware of how to study and what to study. Okay, this is the one main reason that I wanted to share this cutoff comparison for you people. Please, next slide, please, Ansita. Next slide, please. Okay. Before going into more technicalities of how to study PYQs, I'll just introduce a little bit about the crash course that we are going to offer. So, as you people, a few of you might already know, we take a lot of different types of batches. Like, for example, we have a full-length batch, we have a crash course, we have a revision course, we have MCQ series, PYQ series, like that, many are there. Okay. I'm not going to give you all the details because I know this is more about awareness and less about publicity. Since this batch is going to start from March 25th, which is just 10 days away from now, I'm giving you the details. So in this crash course, within a period of 2 months, we'll be covering all the topics in paper 2 home science, which includes 11 topics. Actually, we will say 10 units, but actually 11 topics here. Because research is a specific topic, research in biostatistics. And for this particular crash course, you will have classes every day in the evening time from 8 to 10 o'clock. And whatever you have studied in that particular week, you will have a mock test also. It is not that here we'll come, we'll teach you and we'll leave. It's nothing like that. Because since you'll be studying a lot, you'll be memorizing a lot, you have to do a lot of mock test. Okay? Only then you will be able to address, only then you'll be able to do properly in your exams. Okay? So every Sunday you will be having short mocks on what has been taught in that particular week, and all the lecture PPTs, जो भी lectures हम पढ़ाएंगे आपको, in PPT form आपको पूरा मिल जाएगा in Google Classroom, but in non-downloadable format. Okay. Once, if you want to join us, simple procedure है. If you want to join us, you're done with the fee. I'll give you, I'll take your email ID. To that email ID, I'll send you an invite to a Google Classroom. You just have to click one button, just the invite button. You will join us for the classes. Okay. Please, people, try to keep questions to yourself. I'll address all the questions at the end. Okay. Please understand that. This batch is actually starting from March 25th, not 15th. Our previous year question paper series is starting from March 15th. Okay. And the duration, as I told you, just a period of 2 months, we'll be covering all the 11 topics. And what is the fee? It is for the first 30 seats. Can we go to the next slide, please? Yeah. As an early bird offer for people who have joined us today, we have opened this at just 2,000 rupees for the whole session. That is for all 60 classes that we'll be having for all 2 months. You'll be paying us only 2,000 rupees. But this thing will apply only for the first 30 seats. Meaning जो लोग पहले हमें approach करेंगे, first come first serve basis में, we'll be giving the first 30 seats. After this first 30 seats are over, the fees will be 2,499. Okay. So if you are someone who's interested, who want to study under LCS guidance, you can give me a call or you can give me a message in WhatsApp. WhatsApp is preferred mostly since I can give you all the details as a voice message. Okay. Next slide, please. Yes. Anshika, can we go next slide and then come back here? Okay. Now, like one already important point that I have already given you is that you have to study only important topics. Okay. Now, when you have to identify these important topics, obviously you have to go through what questions have come. What questions have come already, that only you will be seeing, right? So, how should you study? Previous year में जो भी questions आए हैं, the questions that have come already. Just give me a minute. Yeah. So what I was saying is that when you try to study the topics that are there in the previous year questions, do not just stick to the correct answer. Okay. Say for example, let's see just this question: from which plant source gluten is derived? Okay. If this is the question, obviously the answer is only one of the four options that are given. Only one will be the correct answer, right? That is D, which is gluten. Gluten is the only food source which is given in the options that contains gluten. But then, this is not how you should study. Because, can we go to the next slide, Hansika? Because even though there are a lot of people who say that in UGC Net Exam questions, same thing comes again and again, they are also not fools, okay? So they don't give the exact same question over and over. What they do is that they try to twist the question. Okay, so now if you study like this, just have a look of this. From plants, which plant source gluten is derived? It is wheat. Okay, but then what about the protein source which is present in all other things? Soya, what is the plant? What is the protein source? In rice, what protein is contained? In corn, what protein is contained? That you do not study. Many people don't study. So, in the next time, maybe in the next session, instead of asking from which plant source gluten is derived, they may ask you from which plant source zein protein is derived, or from which plant source oryzanin is derived. Okay, so this is how you have to study PYQs. PYQs is nothing but previous year questions. Now, Hanshika, can we go back to the PYQ series slide? No, it is before. It is before. Yeah, that one. Yes. Yeah. So now, again, I'm telling you, if you want to cover PYQs by yourself, it's well and good. But just remember this one thing: since just by studying a single question, you will be studying 5 different types of concepts, terms, concepts, or definitions. You can say anything. Okay. If you're doing it by yourself, it is going to be great for you. But the problem is that each and every question paper is going to take at least 6 to 8 hours to complete the question papers in the way that I have told you to do. That is seeing each and every option, seeing what is a topic around that particular question. It is going to take you at least 6 to 8 hours. Okay. If you think that you don't have that much of time, you can buy our PYQ explanation series. In this PYQ explanation series, आपको last 2012 from 2012 till 2021, whatever question papers have come in UGC Net Home Science, all the question papers we will cover along with the correct answer and explanation for each and every option which is given. Okay, so if we totally calculate, there are close to 2,225 questions which are there in these PDFs from all the 10 units. Okay, and one more problem that you will face while studying PYQs is that, say for example, if you take a question paper, in that question paper, all the 10 units will be mixed, correct? But then, if you're studying by yourself, you will not cover all the units at the same time, no? You'll be covering nutrition and dietetics one day, you'll be covering textiles one day, but then PYQ in paper, if you take, all questions will be mixed. So you'll get confused, right? So in order to avoid that confusion, what we do is that we do that work for you and we segregate. Like in home science, in textiles, in 2012, what question has come? In 2013, what question has come? Like that, we segregate it and we make a complete different file for each unit. Means, जब आप ये PYQ series ले लोगे, when you take this PYQ series from us, you will be receiving 11 different PDFs actually, including research. 11 different PDFs you will be getting in Google Classroom. Again, I'm informing that these PDFs, these PPTs, they are not in downloadable format. They are shared on a subscription basis, meaning whatever is shared with you will exist with you for a specific time period only. Okay, this pay-by-Q series of all this 2,225 questions, it is for 799 rupees only. So if you calculate each question, it is around 25 paise for 5 or 6 concepts that you're going to study. I'm again telling you, it is not necessary that you should get it from us only. You can do it by yourself, but the problem is that it is going to take 6 to 8 hours. So if you're someone who has enough amount of time to study, you're very well welcome, and it will be great for you also, since it is going to give you more knowledge. Great. So, but if you don't have time, if you think you'll not be able to do by yourself, you can contact us. Hanshika, can we go to the next slide here? Next slide. Yeah. One very, very important question which people continuously ask us, in Telegram group, in YouTube, personally also, which book should I follow? UGC Net crack करना है तो सिर्फ एक book बताओ. I have to study from that and I have to qualify. Please take this thing very clearly into your mind. Even if you get a book from a very good publishing house, let it be Oxford or Arihant or anything, we have personally seen, we are a group of 9-8 people already, we have personally seen that a lot of mistakes are there in these books. I'm not telling that they are doing a mistake, but there is one sweet spot here, is that in UGC, if you have already written UGC Net exam, you might already know. So after the exam gets over, first answer key is released. Okay. In the first answer key, in case aapko lag raha, if you feel like you have given the correct answer, but NTA has told that the answer that you have given is wrong. What you can do is that you can apply for a challenge. Okay, that is with a very proper proof. You can challenge UGC saying that my answer is correct. You have given the correct. You have given the wrong answer. Okay. So when this challenge, students challenge this question, you have to pay money for that. Around 1,000 rupees we pay. After that, the answer key is changed. But what happens is that the answer key is not released. In a few years, this answer key is not released and directly the results are given. So what happens, because of this gap in between the first answer key or the lack of the second answer key, many people still follow the first answer key only, which means maybe 8 or 10 questions which are there in the first answer key might be wrong. Okay, but these people, they are not into writing exams, sitting and writing exams. They don't understand this and they publish it just like that. Okay, so because of this thing, there are students, since you will be from only one specialization, but you will not know that you are actually studying it wrong. Okay, if you do not cross-verify. So because of that, a lot of students, they read wrong content and they go and write the wrong content and come back. Okay, so do not follow any book, any one specific book. Okay, so if I don't have to follow a book, where should I study from? Can we go to the next slide? You can have this question, hai, from where should I study? Karke? Yes, these are the only 3 credible sources which you can follow. NCERT Family Studies and Ecological Studies book, NIOS National Institute of Open Schooling books, and if you get handwritten notes from any of your seniors or someone who has already qualified UGC Net, only that. This is what you have to study from. If you are not joining us, if you have money constraints, if you are not interested, it's okay. But you have to study only from credible sources, not from anywhere and everywhere or one stupid book. Okay. But if you think that, and also remember one thing, in NCERT and NEOS, the content is huge. Like if you take NIOS books of home science, it is secondary and higher secondary books of home science you will be studying. I'm not exaggerating, there are a total of 48 PDFs. Okay, सिर्फ home science का basics का 48 PDFs है. You can study from that. but it's going to take a really, really long amount of time. It's about the PDFs only, like how I told you about the previous year questions, है ना? Very similar to that only, but it is good source. They are very good. We people have studied, when myself, Prachi ma'am, when Ankit sir, we had studied, we had used these sources only. We did not go anywhere. We did not take any books. But then it takes a lot of time. So if you think this may not be your way of studying, if you're not interested in studying this much, only option, or I'll not say only option, one of the very good options that you can get is joining us. Okay, because you are not just going to get handwritten notes of just one senior, you will be getting handwritten notes of around 8 seniors of you. Since all of us have written the exam before you, we can consider, I think, as your seniors. So our handwritten notes, personal or highlighted notes from NCERT and NIOS books, all of these things are combined and then we make PDFs. Okay, then next one please, next slide please. Yeah, if you are interested in joining us for crash course or revision course, always our timings are in the evening time from 8:30 to 10:30. 10:30, it depends, or 8:30, it changes depending upon the educator's availability. So these are the classes, and we do not keep classes in the morning time, and the classes happen only during the weekdays. Okay, but there are continuous classes. Next slide please. Yeah. So the crash course which I told you about, the one which is going to start from March 25th, that is going to happen in English, because we are getting a lot of problems from South side telling that they may not be able to follow bilingual classes. And one more thing is also that once you see, the ultimate aim of qualifying UGC Net or UGC JRF is to go into teaching side, right? Either teaching or research. So even if you are inside in India only, if you are doing research in India only or teaching, you definitely need English. You definitely need English along with Hindi. I know that I understand that Hindi medium is also given. The questions are given in Hindi also in your main exam. But then after finishing the exam, of course, you definitely need English. Okay, it can be to teach, or it can be to write your thesis or synopsis. You need English. So if you're someone who is 80%, 70% comfortable also with English, this will be a very good choice for you. And it's not like that we will speak in British English or American English. We'll be speaking in very colloquial English that everybody can understand. Okay, but the PDF, in case if needed, we can give a few explanations in Hindi for people who may not understand. But the content is going to be completely in English. Okay, I hope you understand this thing. So the medium of instruction, I'm again saying, is going to be English. Next, please. Yeah. How we'll be conducting the classes? So we'll be conducting the classes to Google Meet, because it's very easy to do. More than Zoom, it's easy. And whatever the content that you get, let it be mock tests or PDFs, and also very important thing, in case if you miss any session, in case if you miss any live session, we give you recordings of whatever has happened in that particular session. We give you recordings of all the classes, so that if unfortunately if you miss also, you can go back and you can study from that recorded session. Okay, so all these things are provided over Google Classroom. So as I told you, once you decide to join us, we'll be giving you an invite to the Google Classroom where you can join, and एक WhatsApp group भी होगा सारा educators के साथ, where you can share your doubts, where you can ask your doubts also anytime. Great. Next slide, please. Yeah. These are a very few results that we have already achieved in this UGC Net exam and in PhD set, and also in a few PhD entrance exams of universities. We have a very big PDF which we are going to show you next. These are the results that we had achieved before June. Next slide, please. Before June and December 2021 session had happened. Consider please share the achievement posters, just a glance, so that we can tell them. Yeah. So I'm very proud. I'm very proud to tell that in June and December 2021 session, we had received 22 JRFs. Yes, definitely I'll entertain your questions. I'm going to end. Like, this is the end. We'll be having questions now. So very happy to say that we have received 22 JRFs in our subject, and we have received 61 net qualified candidates. For me, it's like flying on clouds, and I don't know any other institute which has done this, and I'm very proud of it. We'll be sharing the PDF with you to just have a look to see our credibility. Now, so just final call. We are having a PYQ series starting from March 15 for 799 rupees, and we have our crash course which is starting from March 25th, which is for the first 30 seats, it is 2000 rupees. So people who are interested, you can give us you can message me. My number is already there in your awareness groups. So from there only you can message me. We will start these things from today. So the takeaway from this session, two important takeaways are: study only important topics and stick very, very clearly to your PYQs. Okay, always stick to your PYQs, which is nothing but previous year questions. Okay, now let us get into the question part of today. Please, one by one, post your questions so that I can answer all of them. We'll have 10 minutes till 8 o'clock. I'll answer. Paper 1, the thing is, it's not like it's not based on previous year questions much. There are a total of 10 units. If you are going to qualify, if you are just looking for UGC Net alone, yes, it is already early bird discount here. So let me answer one by one. Just give me a minute. Yeah. Paper 1, it's not about previous year questions. If you want only net, you have to study at least 7 units completely. Paper 2, the strategy is different. Paper 1 strategy is different. Okay. Let me answer one by one, people. In paper 2 also, there are only 2 marks per question. Paper 1, you have to, if you're looking for only net, study at least 7. If you're looking for JRF, you have to study at least 8 units complete the syllabus. Okay. Each question will carry 2 marks, and then PYQs help to clear. Of course, I have qualified using this PYQs only. It will help you qualify in first attempt if you study completely. If you are a student from last year, no, not in the crash course year, we are planning to take 30 intakes for 1,999 rupees. First 30 intakes ke liye, this is the money, and past that it will be 2,499. Okay. Any course for improving our English? This is not the correct forum, I guess, to answer about improving English, so I'll skip to next. What do you mean by specialization, Anita? I don't understand. Please be clear on that. No, PYQs are not included in the crash course because in crash course itself you are getting live classes, recording of the live classes, mock test, explanation of the mock test. All these things are included, which is more than what actually you pay for. Okay. December session, it might start somewhere after June, July. You can attempt multiple times. There is no limit on how many times you can attempt. If you pay for the crash course, you will pay for PYQ separately only. It is not included together. Only paper 2 will be covered. Paper 1, there are a lot of free classes available in YouTube. You don't have to join any of the big giants which are there. I will not name them. You don't have to join them. Just look for free classes in YouTube. That is more than enough. Yes, it will help you clear in first attempt. Personally, it is my personal recommendation that if you have some problem, money problem, anything like that, the PYQs pattern which I have told you how to study PYQs, if you cover all the PYQs without leaving anything, you will be able to cover. Eligibility, you can start writing your UGC Net even in your first semester also. But if you are in MSc first semester, after you qualify UGC Net, within 2 years you have to complete your complete your degree. Then you are eligible for using that net. Okay. If you qualify JRF, you have to apply for your PhD in the next 3 years. If you do not apply, you do not get money. Deepa, I really very clearly told you there is no one single book which will help you clear this exam. It will be given in their website here, usually around the month of April end or May starting, you will get the application starting process. Within how many years we land a job? No, Afran, you're getting it wrong. It is just an eligibility exam. So you have to go apply for the job. But if you have UGC Net qualification in your hand, it is an added advantage. Yeah, of course you can write, but MTech in what? That matters. Yes, you can repeat it how many times you want. There is no higher limit. Till if you're 60 years old, you can write Net exam. But in order to qualify JRF, you have to be, if you are a woman, and you can write it till you're till 35. Full course fee, it is 4,000 rupee, but it has already started. Almost 40 days classes are over. So if you want to join the full course, you can join Shreya, but then you have to catch up with the recorded sessions. It is valid lifelong. UGC Net certification is valid lifelong, but UGC JRF is valid only for, you have to join your PhD within the next 3 years. And once you join for 5 years, you will get your stipend. What was your question, Deepti? Let me have a look first. You're selected as assistant professor in a government college? Are you selected as assistant professor? Hamdunisa, there will not be any Tamil batch this